where we last left our heroes, Danir the Tabaxi Wizard, Asmo the Sneckman Fighter, Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock, and Nara the Drow Sorceress. They had made their way to Lone Othroned, the haven city of the elves, hidden within the Feywild. The party found themselves on the bad side of the meritocratic and mostly xenophobic populace of the city, but ultimately found themselves worthy of entry to the Othrondian Academy of the Arcane, albeit not by the unanimous will of the mysterious council that seems to oversee the ongoings of the city itself. With the gleaming ivory towers of the Academy standing before them, what lessons will our heroes learn on their adventures today in the ties that bind? Short, sweet, to the point. You find yourself standing at the end of a tunnel, and at the far side, gleaming, is the the multi-sized ivory buildings, presumably made up of that similar white metal that you've seen fastened to so many magical artifacts in this city. A very welcoming, cool breeze kind of brushes your face at the end of the tunnel, which is now kind of breathing into the building that you just found yourselves in.
And at this point, I am still a Black Hawk, correct?
I think they got the spell, actually.
During the meeting with the commissar, Mr. I actually wrote down his name here.
That's
Yelan
right. I turned back.
You got turned back into a.
Forgot to update that.
A drow there. Yeah, the campus sits on the other end of this tunnel. The wind blows through the tunnel. The floor beneath you is aside from the platform on which you're standing on, which rotated you down into this tunnel, appears to be a very fine, almost marble-like cobblestone that leads towards the entrance to the academy ahead of you.
Now that is impressive. I will tell you what.
Oh my god. Asmo just whistles, looking at it all. Sights beyond sights.
Is it daytime there? Sun is up?
At the other end of the tunnel, it does look like it's light. From on top of where you were just standing, the staircase that kind of lowered down behind you, a voice yells down,
"We need to reset the floor! Move!"
Picky.
Wait, reset the what?
Reset the floor?
Didn't
Yeah,
you get off the plate?
Whatever. This is dumb.
Nara jumps off of it.
I'll just move.
As you begin moving down the tunnel behind you, you start to hear the shifting of stone as the platform that you were standing on raises back up.
Huh.
Oh.
Continuing to walk through the tunnel, those of you that wish can go ahead and make a perception check, as there is something a little odd about this campus.
Okay.
Nope. 8.
17.
And is it not coming through?
Yours has not come through yet.
Oh, shit, come on. That was my
Go. There it is.
Hey, 22.
Danir, you seem just kind of like fascinated by the buildings that stretch before you. These towers of this ivory material that, the closer you get to them, they seem to stretch further and further up. You knew from the other side of the wall that they kind of stretched upwards, with the central tower stretching straight up to almost the top of the illusory dome that creates this city. You're just kind of fascinated by the pilloried architecture of these buildings, but the rest of you notice a few strange things. Wolfgang, there doesn't appear to be anybody walking around this, like the grounds of the academy, from what you can see from here. That's something all of you noticed. Asmo and Nara, the closer you get, like the more you're kind of like straining your eyes to try to see it, especially you, Nara, who's, you know, not very happy looking at bright areas.
Mm-hmm.
These buildings don't seem to have doors.
What?
Hmm.
So
How the hell are you supposed
there's-
to get into one of these places?
no one here and no way to get in. And they shut the floor so we can't go back.
I'm gonna
What?
go ahead and take a guess and say that maybe there's some sort of opening somewhere. We just have to figure out what it is.
And where it is. Oh boy. Asmo, like, just starts looking around.
I can call down fire from the heavens above, but I can't figure out this strange elven civilization.
It is a strange, strange place. As you look back down the tunnel as you were traveling, you continue to hear kind of like, it's almost like a shifting of sands, like kind of a tinkling sound. Every few feet you travel, more of the tunnel disappears behind you. As you kind of notice this almost redisintegration effect of the wall continuing to grow behind you.
I'm really not liking how this is looking right now.
You think?
She's gonna, like, how far away are we from being at the buildings?
You're getting pretty close to standing outside again now.
Is there anything else that would delineate any kind of entrance or anything?
This does appear to be the measured entrance of the academy. Walking through does seem to lead you towards what would be kind of a grand courtyard. This ivory building ahead of you is the shortest of the five, though that doesn't really do it a lot of justice, as it is still taller than almost any building in any city you've been in, barring some castles. It's more squat of a high-riser, but still sits about 7 or 8 stories tall, at your best estimate. The architecture is very fluid. The pillars that Denier noticed as you're walking up, as opposed to like their Roman variety, are very twisting and turning, almost vine-like as they snake their way up the buildings, seeming to offer less support but more a interesting architectural edge. The building itself kind of peaks at a kind of a curved steep that hangs out in a lip over the edge of the building, providing some shade to the courtyard below that you now find yourself walking into.
Could be transmutation, could be illusions, just hiding the door. Could be any number of things.
Nah, I don't know about that. Maybe there's like a way to activate it. This whole world's different. Maybe there's some other elven way of doing it. Some lazy elven way of handling it.
I shall cast Detect Magic.
Yep, sure is a lot of magic here.
Whoomp. Ah! It's like getting flashed in the eyes with like with light goggles.
You hear like sizzling behind my retinas.
Yeah, it's that SpongeBob. My eyes!
Oh my no! Oh no!
Fucking great VO.
Do we hear anything? Are there any smells in the air?
Go ahead and give me go ahead and give me another perception check.
22.
As you're kind of wandering around, looking for spaces, wandering around the buildings, trying to find your way around this one, maybe looking for a door, you do hear some footsteps, Nara, kind of from the courtyard at the center.
At the center of the courtyard, I hear footsteps.
Yeah.
Where?
Kind of coming from around this area as you kind of snake your way around the...
From where, sorry?
From around here. Here, I'll replace you guys with, I mean, you're all kind of traveling as a group right now, so I'll just...
Yeah.
I'll add in a little... Yeah, you guys have kind of like wandered around here, just looking around the building, and around the corner of the building, you hear some footsteps just kind of clacking on the floor there. There are some nice trees and like sitting areas, almost kind of quad-like, that you're kind of walking through right now. But this is the first time you've heard any sounds of life, and as you kind of go around to investigate it, there is a relatively, I'd say, slightly post-pubescent elven woman, her hair tied back in a slick ponytail, just kind of hastily walking across the courtyard towards kind of like northwestern, towards the other side of the campus.
You said, like, how old?
For an elf, she's probably in her mid to late 80s, but yeah, she looks like she's still kind of a like around 18 to 19 in age for a normal person.
Pardon me. Ma'am?
She doesn't seem to notice you. Go ahead and make a persuasion check with... not disadvantage, but just a persuasion check. See if you can get her attention.
All right. Okay. Bill. Here we go. Persuasion. That's going to be an 11.
You don't get her attention in, like, a nice way. You just kind of have to, like, after not getting her attention for a little while, you just kind of yell, "Ma!" At which point she just kind of jolts for a moment, pulls something from her ear and looks back, kind of glances at you guys, gives you a little bit of a stink face, kind of like seeing the company that you're keeping.
Of course. I was wondering if you could give us directions. We're a bit lost. We're looking for Fithrabar.
She kind of like chuckles a little to herself and shakes her head. Let's see. Utters a phrase in Elven. At which point Archie responds to you. If you're new here, you'll find out soon enough. She kind of like shakes her head, puts the earbud back in, continues walking towards that building, and as you watch her walk up to it, she appears to almost like mime opening a door, and then she just walks into the flat surface of the building. Almost like she's walking straight through the wall.
Huh.
We do that. I want to do that now. How do we do it?
Guess we go up and try.
Let's go.
Nara immediately goes up to the wall and very confidently pretends to open a door that doesn't exist.
It is a flat, slick surface. You reach out your hand, pretend it has a handle or a knob, and mime your way opening it. Go ahead and give me a performance check.
Performance. 18.
You very convincingly mime opening a door.
And?
Do you walk in?
She will... Yes.
All right. You walk nose first into the door, or into the wall.
I knew this was stupid.
Is my detect magic giving me any sort of indication as to what this wall is made of magically?
It has a very similar magical resonance to the Go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Arcana with advantage. Oh boy. Soft 20.
Ooh.
It has a very similar resonance, slightly different, but very similar to the crystal city of Mitternacht or Danir's racist snow globe.
Oh. What? No, that can't be. I mimic opening the door and I try to walk through. But I'll go hand first.
Give me a performance check.
Bloody hell. Natural 1.
Yeah!
You grab the door from one side, open it as if it would be opening through you, stick your arm out, and you're just touching a wall.
You see, that's what happens.
Just Wolfgang just sort of like takes his hat off and scratches his head, visibly frustrated.
Can I throw acid on it?
No.
Why? It would do something.
Danir, what are you up to?
Archie
I'm studying the buildings.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okie doke. That's an 8. I am absolutely fascinated by it, and I'm trying to figure out exactly the architecture so that I can add it to my tower.
You're fascinated by the now that you're standing kind of in the center, where you can get a better glimpse at all 4 of the campus buildings and the massive tower at its center. Each of them seems to have their own bit, like their own different type of architecture to them. One of them seems very, very sleek, very efficient. Like it is almost just straight walls and not much accoutrement to it. Very modern. Almost has kind of like but it has kind of this slant to its wall, as if it's not just straight up and down. Another one looks as though it is crawling with various creatures on closer examination. Gargoyles kind of jut itself off of various pieces of its architecture. It almost looks like the base itself is a large coiled beast kind of like spinning itself around for a nap at the base of the building.
Willing to bet your conjuration. Danir's writing notes in a book. And he's just studying.
The building at the furthest north, one of the taller of the buildings, seems to be very elemental in its design. There are lots of smooth organic shapes that seem to represent almost natural features of the land, very mountainous pits that look as though they are radiant with fire, and even kind of an archway that leads towards this the center of the building that actually looks like it's perpetually raining on the inside. The tower at the center, however, is probably the one that catches your eye the most. It's It very much looks like a Roman pillar, just a very tall Roman pillar, but circling around it, spiraling, is this very long, scaled, serpent-like being that circles its way all the way from the base upwards.
Asmo eyes eyeballing that. Is it a nondescript serpent?
You can just tell that there are scales, it kind of like carved onto the almost vine-like, serpent-like body that coils its way up that ivory tower.
Now, is it made out of the same ivory?
All of these buildings appear to be made out of the same material, at least on their outward face.
Did it feel like anything when I touched it? Or was it just normal, stony, metal, whatever?
It was very quick to warm to the touch. Like, it's initially cold, but very quickly it warmed to the touch.
She's gonna, like, slowly put her hand against it and kind of test it and see what happens.
For a metal, it almost feels like it has a little bit of give to it, like it's almost a little soft as you kind of push and press against it.
Hey, Wolfgang, Asmo. Daenerys looking at stuff. This is like squishy.
What?
Touch it. Touch the wall.
You grab it.
What?
Yeah, she grabs his hand and squishes it against the wall.
Ah! Oh, God!
Being cold-blooded, it feels just as cool as almost any metal to him.
You feel that? It's not normal. Huh.
What happens if I try to push through it?
Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Here we go.
Don't fail him now.
Okay.
There we go.
A soft 20 again.
Oh, nice.
Push your hardest on this building. You're not moving a building. But man, do you feel like you could?
I was more trying to see if I could go through it. Is what I was trying to test for.
Doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like brute force is the way to do so. Daenerys, go ahead and give me a perception check. This time with advantage, as you continue to examine these buildings.
Are we pulling, guys? We're pulling the push door. That's what we're doing.
16.
Feels like it.
As you turn back to the party, there appears to be a large double red door. It wasn't there a moment ago, but it is now sitting at the corner of the very plain-looking building.
He points his staff over at it. Yeah, you're looking for that, by the way.
Wait, what?
He turns to where his staff is pointed.
Sure enough, there's a door there that just was not there before.
Oh, I don't like this.
Bloody hell.
She said if you're new, you'll find out soon enough. And Daenerys starts walking towards those doors.
I join him. There's a bit of a huff to my step, though.
Nara follows along.
SMH.
You walk towards these large, dark wooden doors. They seem like very traditional doors as opposed to many of the doors you've found around the land. Fairly old looking, kind of almost gnarled wood. They seem very, very old. Ancient, one might even say. As you grasp the handle, they let out a very satisfying, almost kind of cliche as you pull the double doors back. You find yourselves looking into a to you it looks fairly modern lecture hall. But for the city that you've been in, it looks very old. Moreover, this lecture hall appears to only have 4 chairs sitting in the very front row of this countered, like, kind of workspace. In front of this, almost spotlighted lecture space. On the walls, written in very large handwriting, it just says, "Have a seat."
Why do I get the sensation that this is for us?
Probably because it is.
It's condescending.
Most of this place has been, so yeah. Fits the theme.
Nara crosses her arms and plops in a chair.
You walk through
your
feet echoing around the very vacuous chamber as they kind of plod along the thinly carpeted floors. The room itself smells kind of like an ancient library. It has that used space aura about it. Smells very much like old paper, kind of faintly sweet and a little herbaceous. As you walk through the doors, you hear them close behind you, and they no longer exist.
This is the classroom of a very old teacher.
I don't like the doors keep disappearing on us today.
Look around you compared.
A voice echoes from around you. If you do not like the doors disappear and appear at random, then you have come to the wrong place.
No, it's not a choice.
Everything is by choice.
Oh boy, one of those.
Who is speaking to us?
I am glad you have asked. As you all take your seats, the lights in the room go completely dark. Shunk. My name is... A large pillar of flame erupts from the space before you. Fithrobar! The Fire Gem Dune! Standing, when your eyes adjust to the flame light, which is now... Every lantern in this room has now lit up. Standing from the center of that flame is a man with kind of red clay, like almost red clay leathered flesh. He has a pointed goatee that sits below his very pointed face. It is braided and curled into a very meticulous degree. His eyes, the irises specifically, kind of glint and flicker with the burning intensity of an inferno. They sit below very heavily browed, a heavily browed forehead, and thick black hair that is also tied back in a ponytail. I oversee the students here, and it would seem you are new. Welcome, Wolfgang Connolly, Denir Highwind, Nara, and Asmo, to the Lonothroned Academy of the Arcane.
I sort of look over to Denir when he says his full name.
Denir, he's... He doesn't seem all that surprised.
It would appear I have been granted some fairly polished gems, though. I am unsure of your aptitude. 2 of you have been granted your power. 1 of you has earned it, and 1 shows no arcane aptitude at all.
Nara pats Asmo.
It's okay.
Ah.
To answer your question of the doors of the Lonathrundian Arcane Academy present themselves to those who deserve them. We are a meritocracy here. They will not always lead you where you wish, but they will take you where you need to go to grow. Before I begin, are there any questions?
Above game, can I go to the bathroom real quick? I mean, is that loud or?
I mean, I'd prefer if you went before we started, but
I know. I'm giving you shit, Nick. Just...
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Start what? What's happening in here? What's going on again?
Have
the lesson.
Have we ever seen anything like him before?
Short answer, yes. You can go ahead and give me a either Arcana or this would almost certainly be an Arcana with advantage.
Okay.
Arcana with advantage. Or just Wolfgang?
That's a 13.
He seems very similar in build and facial structure to a certain djinn that wrecked your shit not 2 years ago.
Aha. But he's red.
This one does happen to be red, yes, so you're assuming perhaps not the exact same, but very similar to that of Zalbar, the other.
Oh yeah, I met him for like a second.
Interesting, but is this? I'm sorry. Is he a genie or is he a djinn or is he a genasi?
He seems to have. He's appeared himself in flame. Is he like a head talking in the fire?
No, he has a full body. He's
okay.
He's got a fairly well built, not necessarily broad body. He's dressed like a typical college professor though. Kind of sitting there in a tweed jacket. He has these very thin, sort of like half reader glasses, kind of tucked in his front pocket. Has a red cravat around his neck, kind of a deep crimson that complements the shade of red that is his skin. You do not believe that this guy would be a genasi, no. I see your eyes glancing.
Sorry, I'm just all of this has been a bit jarring.
Tell me, Hunter of the Aberrations, do you know what I am?
If I had to take a wild guess, I'd say you're an Afriti.
Very good.
I don't. Wolfgang, what is that for those of us who are not as knowledgeable as you?
It's a fire genie.
Asmo, like Loki, kind of like motions for Wolfgang to stand back, giving him a look of like, remember the last time you saw a genie? Oh, look, a genie.
I give him a very flat look.
I assure you,
You
I
get
mean
blundered
you no
less.
harm. Though, I do not necessarily know if you belong here or not. That is for the Academy to decide.
Well, we do have business with you we need to discuss.
So I have heard.
So is this another test, then?
All tests will come in time. The Academy knows what the student needs.
This is all starting to sound very familiar, and I look over to Denier.
Denier's got a very calculating look on his face.
Fithrobar has kind of like glanced you over once or twice, Denier, just kind of noting your demeanor and your acceptance of the situation.
Denier is here for a reason. He has an idea of what he's getting himself into, and he knows that once they pass this test, whatever his test is, they'll be able to get more answers. The answers that they would get at the moment would probably be surface level answers.
I'm gonna give him an insight check to see how much of that he can read from you.
Okay.
Whew. Fair amount.
I thought Denier was the only one that got to go to school. Do we also get to study?
Life is a school.
No.
Wolfgang sort of lowers his head, almost going to put his head in his hands, but he fights off the urge at the last second.
One of you, Denier, I know you to be the most studied of this group. Probably the most worthy of the Academy's lessons.
I don't like how he said that, but I am curious of what I could learn.
Well, he's right. Out of all of us, Denier is by far the most intelligent.
Sure. Yeah.
One of you, your power doesn't even truly belong to you. One of you rejects their power. The other doesn't understand what he wields.
Wait, what? Which one am I?
Which one indeed?
Oh, I hate this.
No, it's vague. I could be all of them.
Wolfgang shuts his eyes, counts to 10 in his head, opens it back up.
Tell me, Mr. Connolly.
Yes.
Your powers. Brought to you by contract, are they not?
In a manner of speaking, yeah, I guess you could put it like that. How did you know?
It is simple by looking at you. Your body, it seems to reject the very energy that it produces. Maintained only by some otherworldly force. He looks over to you, Nara. And you, only just now discovering yourself. I wonder, what would you use your power for?
Well, to make sure I can keep doing it, really. I have things I want to protect now, so, you know.
I'm sure the Academy will teach you much over the coming days.
Oh. Neat.
Oh, boy.
And you, of all of the artifacts that you carry on your person, Asmo, how many of them were forged by you themselves? Crafted, created with you in mind?
I have two. He makes two, and does two thumbs up and gestures to himself. Just myself. Everything else is a conduit of it.
Wonderful. Every now and again, you may see a door appear before you. It is the Academy trying to guide you, trying to teach you. They may not always lead to the same place, and they may not always leave you together.
What?
But I recommend, if you wish to learn, that you follow where they will take you.
Oh. Asmo, are you gonna be a wizard?
Unlikely. Incredibly unlikely.
I
Impossible,
really hope.
actually.
It just sounds like such a headache.
Well, at least they're both on the same page for it.
It requires way more reading than his one eye could possibly handle. Just ask Denier.
Did you give him a magic eye?
It's not outside of the area of possibility.
Yeah, that is a good point.
He'd probably know how to do it better than anybody else, right?
You supposedly have the... You supposedly have the technology or magic, I suppose, to stave off death, then surely restoring an eye isn't beyond your prowess.
Of course. A pop quiz for all of you. Of all of the schools of magic, which is the most powerful?
Asma just kind of looks at Wolfgang.
Depends on what you mean by power.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Whichever one you believe in the most, right?
It depends on the wielder of the schools. Every school has the power to protect and to destroy. But it's all up to the user. The weave itself, while strong, is a part of nature. No school is any stronger than the other.
A fine answer. A wise prophet once said, "Fear not the man who can cast 1,000 spells, but fear the man who has cast a spell 1,000 times. For he has mastered."
And a lot of spell slots.
He smirks in GM. Here we study every school. None is forbidden. You will
Even
find your
necromancy.
way. Especially necromancy.
Ooh.
Especially necromancy.
Give him another
Oh,
flat look at that.
It was necromantic magic that sent every elf fleeing for their lives.
Oh, yeah.
None who would wish to face its edge again would dare do so without understanding it.
To
do
know
so
your
would
enemy,
be
you must
foolish.
understand your enemy.
Exactly.
Suppose I can agree with that.
With that, I welcome you formally to the Academy. In his hand, which he holds forward, a rune begins to burn. It starts in the shape of an A, and many other runes begin cycling around it in kind of a spiraling pattern. He blows on it, and 4 beams of light shoot up and press themselves onto onto the collars of your outfits, searing themselves in there, and they begin to glow with a sort of luminescent purple. Denier, you recognize this rune to be that of, like, it is a symbol of Arcanos.
Yeah. Makes sense. It is his school after all.
Yeah, this specifically. Boom. Just imagine the line itself being more intricate little tinier glyphs and symbols etched along its outer edge.
So we go to class now, or?
With these badges, the classes will find you. As I said, the doors will present themselves. It is up to you to walk through them. Whether or not you take the lesson, that is your choice.
Oh my god, you sound like the village elder. Asmo just grabs the bridge of his nose. Oh my god.
I am not that old. I am only 3002.
Sense of humor. I appreciate it.
He kind of looks around. What?
Asmo, what?
Well, thank you.
Do not thank me yet. Thank me when it is over. You will be tested. You will face what is stopping you from moving forward. Your fear, your ignorance, your hesitations. The Academy will guide you, so long as you embrace her lessons.
It's a she?
And with that, your first lesson is dismissed. And with a mighty fireball, the room once again goes dark.
How many times do you want to imagine he practiced that entrance?
3.
Three what? Times?
Yeah, at least.
God,
No.
He was a bit flamboyant, no pun intended.
Fun was intended. Don't lie to yourself.
Maybe a little.
Mm-hmm.
It was well rehearsed.
The lights of the room begin to rekindle. And yeah, you do get the feeling that he has rehearsed this introductory period, this this welcome to the school a good number of times in his 3,000 years.
Oh.
What are we thinking? He says we can be split up at random times.
Maybe we could take a lesson from our time in the mists and just go with the flow for now. We're gonna get what we want either way.
But we do split up in this one, right?
I can't know that.
There's a possibility that we'll be split up for individual courses, but there's a chance that we'll all be together. At this point, we have to trust the wisdom of the school.
Well, I don't think it'll be dangerous.
You say that.
At least not terribly so.
I feel like your barometer for danger is different than a lot of people's, though.
He opens his mouth, closes it.
As you open your mouth, your stomach begins to grumble.
Good point. I'm also pretty hungry. So maybe...
As you glance around, a large white door has made itself apparent at the side of the room.
Oh.
Oh.
Daenerys already walking towards it.
I'll jog up to his side and catch up with him.
The door itself seems to be that of kind of a frosted glass. It doesn't even look like it has a handle, just a space on it that in elven glyphs reads push.
Reach out and push it.
It opens up to the sight and sounds of a very bustling, for lack of, it seems like almost kind of a cantina. Just a very like bustling sort of cafeteria eating hall.
Is there anyone in there, or is it just empty?
It's not empty. There are students here, like kind of sitting around, eating various foods, drinking from very tall frosted, or very tall kind of plastine-looking cups. Drinking they have various like thick kind of smoothie-like fluids inside of them, being sucked through larger straws. Trying to find the right sound set that I wanted for this. So
they're not gonna have Charmeat either, are they?
Worst case scenario, we have rations. But if the school will provide what we need, I expect that. Well, I expect that there will be something for us once we get up there.
Probably not a fresh kill, though.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, you glance around. There appear to be a number of stations from which to gather food. This place is very to your eye, it would look, to like your modern eye, it would look kind of like a futuristic food court with lots of like long tables, some shorter tables, some small spaces where people might eat or study alone. The spaces to grab food themselves, for the most part, yeah, they look very vegetarian. But there are also stations filled, like, packed high with various baked goods and sweets. And, of course, there is this station that seems to be very popular where people walk up to a station, pull on a little handle, and this very thick, sort of like sockwood, not quite liquid, not quite solid, paste fills cups. Pop a cap on it, pop one of those larger straws in it, and continue walking. A machine smoothie station is basically.
Aswin gets a big one. I'm gonna get some of that. Hold on, that looks good.
Has Nara had baked goods or sweets in general? I don't think we've done that.
During the campaign, you have not. You know they exist. You've seen bakeries. You've killed bakers.
Yes.
So
yeah.
You
just
know,
haven't eaten. I haven't eaten their food.
What is Solomon's deal?
Sometimes you gotta kill a village.
Oh.
It takes a village to die.
Poor sweet Wolfgang. He has no idea the horrid things Nara's done.
Yeah, never any baked goods that look quite as elegant as these, though. They're very intricate in their designs, very like sort of like puff pastry-ish, croissant-looking, filled with various jellies, jams, other types of confections.
You know, I've seen those kind of things a lot of times, but I've not really had one before.
What do you mean?
Those.
She points over at the bakery.
Then do it. You want me to get for you, or like what?
No, I don't know what to pick. Is all.
A translucent, almost ghost-like being with this massive Pompey chef's hat on kind of walks out and sets out another steaming tray of baked goods onto the table.
She will
That right there.
over to it.
What are they?
She looks the tray over.
They look like kind of fluffy baked dumplings almost. They look crisp on the outside. This golden sheen covers over them, but on the inside they look very plump and almost kind of they give off a very rich, sweet aroma from these vents that seem to emanate from within.
She looks around, looks at the ghosty hat creature, and slowly reaches to take one.
After it dropped the tray, it just kind of set itself down, stood aside for a moment. It doesn't seem to be paying you much mind. Other students, though, every now and again, one will kind of glance up from their studies or their group. You guys are getting like a lot of awkward stares, like you're kind of used to from walking around town. Just first of all, not being dressed very much like them, and second of all, not looking anything like them, except for Nara's ears and Wolfgang possibly passing if it weren't for his ears and his more like his less sharp features about his face. You definitely don't look like an elf. You seem very scruffy, and also you're kind of the old guy of the academy right now.
I was human once.
Yeah.
Nara will take a baked good and take a bite.
You grab it and you bite into it. This very, very unctuous, buttery crust on the outside gives way to a very dense, mildly sweet interior. It kind of has this sort of grit to it that dissolves very pleasantly on the tongue and leaves your mouth with this very sweet aroma and aftertaste.
What? Where's this? Oh my god.
Good?
What is in my mouth?
And then immediately starts like stuffing more of it in.
You start scarfing down this filled pastry. It is one of the most intriguing things you have ever devoured. Having not eaten a lot of plants, you might have if some of them tasted like this.
Oh my god. What do you know about this? Eat them! Now!
She picks one up and shoots it at Asmo's face.
Eat it! Oh my god. Oh, what? What do the other ones taste like?
Careful, Nara. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Nara's gonna get her freshman 15.
He runs over and grabs up 2 other random baked items.
You find
into them.
A tray of these dough-like rings that seem to have a very mirror-like sheen of a very sweet-smelling, kind of crystal-y exterior, as well as these boomerang-shaped, layered, very similar to the crust you had just eaten. One tastes incredibly buttery, the other tastes immeasurably sweet.
He takes a bite of the round one.
Very sweet. It kind of, the outer shell kind of shatters as you bite into it, but then very quickly dissolves.
It's like an enchanted ring, but one you can eat. And the effect is instantaneous.
I like these.
What is this? It looks like a shaped cow pat.
What?
But I will try it. It's like a lump, like when cows poop.
Is that what it is? I thought you were describing a donut.
No, I had the round ring, but now there's this. It is in a U shape, but it looks...
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying now.
You bite into that.
Bumpy.
It is very... the inside is very airy, but the texture itself, it's got this strange moisture on the inside, and it tastes incredibly buttery.
There's a sweetness and a salt, and it is
flaky.
both crunchy and soft at this. It's as if bone and marrow were combined to be both soft and crunchy at once, but thin. And the flavor.
Huh. Wonder if they have domesticated animals here. I mean, they probably do.
Nara
Just wonder what kind.
is piling her arms with more baked goods.
One of the invisible, the translucent servants walks over and hands you a tray.
You're going to assist me in this endeavor?
It tips its fluffy, like big fluffy chef's hat to you.
You are like a god of kindness.
It waves a hand of "aw shucks" at you.
Nara piles up the tray absolutely, and then hands it to Asmo and gets another tray.
Oh, okay. I'm holding this.
We're eating these.
Yes, okay. We're eating this. Get double for me. It all just looks good.
If you grab too much more, I think we're going to need the floating disc to carry it all.
Can you conjure it?
Do you really want it?
Yes.
Maybe we should. Are there people around that are like practicing spells at all, or is everybody just pretty much eating?
It seems that they use this space, for the most part, for eating in peace. If anybody is practicing anything of the arcane nature, it seems to be very small. Like you see some people just kind of practicing hand movements and gestures, but not actually casting spells. You see some people working with flashcards to go over various incantations. Some people seem to be studying here, but for the most part, if anybody is sitting down at a table, they also have some food nearby somewhere.
Asmo's just getting donuts. He's just having whatever this is. Like, all right, cool. I guess we're getting this. I got no complaints. Asmo just letting Nard choose for him.
Denier just grabs a little variety from everything, not just the baked goods. He gets himself one of those smoothies.
All right, you get
Wolfgang will probably.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Wolfgang.
He'll get himself an even spread, like an actual meal, but he'll sneak a donut or two on there as well.
You get yourself a lovely salad, mixed greens. They had a station filled with various shimmering liquids. You not really sure which one to grab. Kind of dip the, kind of hold your plate towards the one that seems to have the lowest reservoir being the most popular. And the servant behind waves its hand, conjures up a blob of it, and it spreads it over your salad. And both you and Denier grab one of those very thick purple smoothies, which appear to be labeled Yum Berry.
Huh. Oh, Yum Berry.
Yes.
My favorite flavor.
Oh shit.
After piling your plates high, I hear a little bit of fuzziness there. Somebody's microphone's doing a what's-its.
Might be me.
Yeah. It's fine. It's not distracting. Just was a little noticeable for a sec. It's already gone. But after piling your plates high with as much as you would like, you find yourself You try to find yourself a table. Actually, go ahead and give me a perception check, the lot of you. See if you can find a good space for the lot of you to sit.
Oh my god. Not one, but 11.
19.
Okay, and that is a 6.
Both Nara and Asmo's plates are trays are piled so high they can't even see over them.
We cannot see.
That's stop.
No,
We need a third tray.
I can fit.
We
the
need a
one
third
log.
tray.
No.
We need a third tray.
You almost gave up on the trays and just started grabbing the platters themselves and stacking them. There are a lot of people staring at you guys. Denier and Wolfgang, you guys are able to find a space and attempt to usher Asmo and Nara over there. Kind of like, you almost don't want to with the scene that they're making. But you guys sit down. Probably takes them another like 2 or 3 minutes to figure out where you went and sit down with their cornucopia of baked goods, including the they actually grabbed some of the display piece in the middle of the table, which is essentially a large full volumed fern.
Nara sits down behind the massive multi-trade stack of pastries and peeps her head around the side at Wolfgang and Denier.
Why would you eat anything else? Why would you not eat all of this?
And as
because it's all sugary, and I can do a little bit of that, but
What?
Because I eat meat.
No. What's the sugar part? Why does that matter?
Because I like it.
it's tasty, but it's bad for you.
If I don't have more of it, I'll get violent.
Why?
I don't know!
But
almost as in another answer to her question, Wolfgang, as you take a sip of that yumberry smoothie, you feel like as it crosses your mouth, you get this very refreshing flavor at first, which almost immediately transitions into, you feel like your mouth, like you just took a bite of one of the best steaks you have ever bitten into in your life.
What the fuck?
Full sauced, very well seasoned, perfectly cooked. And as you let it kind of sit there, this kind of confusion washing over your face, you swallow, and the liquid almost seems to it goes from this delicious taste of steak as it travels down your throat to this aftertaste of taking a lovely sip of your favorite whiskey, which then perfumes your mouth with that oaky aged barrel flavor. And as it dissipates, it kind of turns into this lemony, custardy sweetness that then disappears and re-cleanses your palate.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfgang looks down at this miracle shake,
which you now know why so many in this cafeteria just have a large glass of that in front of them.
Thought I'd never fall in love again.
You what?
This drink is incredible.
Can't be better than this, though.
And she holds donut to
Try
the
it.
sky.
Denier, as
I slide it over to her. Try it.
Okay.
She takes a sip of it.
Nara, as you sip into it, the very sweet beginnings quickly transition into the densest, bloodiest meat you have ever bitten into. It's like your mouth is an ocean of blood.
Oh my god. What is this?
It lingers on your tongue just enough that when you swallow it, it tastes like it feels like it just had a raw chunk of the most delectable meat, the most delectable venison you have ever had, just sliding down your throat, and it begins to this new flavor begins to crest your mouth. This very almost salty, aromatic flavor, kind of fishy, begins swirling around your tongue. Lemony, And as that begins to fade, your mouth once again is cleansed of the flavor.
What is this?
It's like it knows what you like. No wonder everybody around here's got one of these. It's all you need.
She looks at her, like, building of baked goods, and then slowly turns back to Wolfgang's smoothie.
I just sort of gesture over to where I got it.
So what's it taste like for you two?
Just delicious.
It's like all of the best blood I've ever had.
Steak, whiskey, and lemon custard.
What does it taste like to Daenerys?
Roast boar. Seasoned roasted boar straight from the island. An old recipe that he hasn't had for years. After that, it transitions over to a fine honey mead. And then finally, a very rare taste for him, but a rich chocolate. Something that he rarely got a hold of, with a hint of anana.
Chocolatey pineapple compote.
Mm-hmm. Rare tastes, but tastes that he misses from the island.
You swear that while you are sifting it through your mouth, you can even smell the sea-breezed, fruit-kissed air of the islands. A scent you haven't had in your mind at this point over a decade.
Daenerys quiets down, but he just smiles.
Huh.
Happier than he's been in a while.
This place is certainly incredible. It's just a shame they felt the need to cut themselves off from the rest of the world for this long. So I
Would
guess
you
they're
cut
doing
off
fine.
people? Would you cut off people from your home if they were a threat? Not saying I don't get it or don't agree with it. No, I understand it.
Yeah, I understand it as well. It's just, seems like it's been a long time. The world's so much bigger than all this. There's a lot of wonderful...
A chunk of it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of wonderful, fantastic things in this place. But this isn't all of it. Well, that's another problem for another time, maybe. Right now, we have a goal here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Asma's still eating.
Nara has been shoving as many baked goods into her mouth and chewing as quickly as possible because she knows it never sits still for long.
Anything that tastes this good can't be bad for you.
Go ahead and give me a Constitution check, Nara.
Oh no!
I just want to see how much you're able to do.
Let's
15.
You eat to the point of like slight discomfort by the end. Like you're not like overly stuffed, can't move, but oh man, you ate a little too much. But man, was it good.
This might be one of the days of my life.
Best days of your life so far.
It's only getting started.
Well, are we all ready to get on with this, whatever it is?
The lessons we have to learn, Wolfgang.
Asmo says, all ominously eating his last bit. Good.
Right.
I'm going to figure out a way to put this into the tower. I'm telling all of you this now.
Can you make the disc so we can bring these with us?
Don't know how allowed that is.
Yeah.
Do you even have
in my head, I'm just thinking of like when you go to a buffet and you want to take a doggy bag, they're like, "Fuck you, no." That's not how this works.
Can anyone like put them in a bag or something? I've got this to worry about.
And she pets the egg.
Do you even have the floating disc prepared?
I do not. Above game, it's a ritual cast though, but Daenerys not going to say that. Nara, the thing about schools are you're rarely allowed to have food and drink inside of classrooms.
That's horrible.
And do you really want us to be dragging a giant tray full of pastries into maybe a combat situation?
Ask yourself that question again and then think about me answering it.
Well, let me put it to you like this. Would you rather have me focusing on holding all the pastries, or would you rather me using my magic to keep you safe?
There are two answers in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is yes.
Tell you what. Why don't you put some of them in your pockets, so as soon as you want one, you've got some in your pocket. Like a pocket pastry.
Balancing as many pastries on top of the egg as she can.
We have a bag of holding, don't we?
Do we?
I believe
Asmo does.
Asmo.
Oh my god, I have a bag of holding. Oh my god, my brain. Sorry.
Asmo.
Here's what you do.
Yes,
You
yes.
go make a distraction, and I will empty out the entire table into the back of this thing.
Okay.
Perhaps maybe a less noticeable amount than the entire
Break!
table.
Asmo, as you stand up to ready the bag of holding, you feel a slight give to the floor beneath your feet, and as you look down, you notice that you are standing on top of a trap door, which you fall straight down through.
Shit!
Denier,
What
Nara,
the fuck?
Wolfgang, to you it looks like Asmo just fell through the floor.
Oh.
I don't think
I look around. I look around at the room.
You see a finely crafted wooden door, kind of a light, like a light maple, sitting against a wall.
Nara's eyes are so trained on the spot that Asmo fell through the floor, and she pulls out Tango Muerte.
Nara?
I grab Tango Muerte and I just sort of slowly put it back in the sheath.
Where the fuck did he go?
Class time.
I have a feeling we're gonna find out soon. We need to. How's everybody else reacting to what happened to Asmo?
You got, like, as soon as he screamed, you had a couple of people who just looked up. The din of the room quieted for a moment, and then they all just started going back to what they were doing.
Okay, fine.
Moving on.
Yeah. Guess we'll. I think we need to make our way through that door.
Are we sure that he went to class?
Wolfgang is pointing at a door that nobody else sees.
That one.
What are you talking about?
The door. Oh.
I think that one's for you, buddy.
Asmo did not have the option of a door. Are we sure that it was truly a door he was supposed to go through?
Would Asmo really walk through a door if he saw one just standing there and nobody else could see it?
Maybe he had... Maybe that's what happened there. Maybe he got sucked into his own door.
Nara's eyes are still wild and searching around.
You glance around.
We'll
the room,
find him.
You find a dark iron door that has chains hanging off of it. Looks old, very industrial.
You think that's it?
And she points over at the door.
Nobody else sees it but you.
I think we're being split up.
That's what it sounds like.
Daenerys, you see a door around here?
Do I, Lani?
You see several doors.
Oh, fuck.
None of the doors that they are speaking of, but you see a nice door that is heavily ivied. It seems to be over like white painted wood. You see another door that is just a somber oaken door, little knotted, but fairly nondescript otherwise. And you see a door painted red with a golden handle.
Yeah, I see a door there. I see a door there. I see a door there.
Don't go to the red door. That's... Oh no, that's a horror movie! Run!
Oh, it ain't you special.
Flip and
All right.
find him to make sure that that wasn't something else.
I suppose we must. All right, everybody. Let's just stay calm and collected, and sooner or later we'll all meet back up.
Nara swivels the egg to her back rather than in front of her, grabs a donut and runs to the door, hopping over any tables in her way.
Is the donut in your mouth as you run?
Yes.
Good.
Full anime pro tag, running with donut in mouth instead of toast.
You're late for class,
Running.
Nora.
I am late for class.
You run over to the iron door, throw it open. It's a fairly heavy door, and you run into the darkness as the door closes behind you.
Suppose I will look at Daenerys one last time.
Be safe, Wolfgang.
You as well. I'll see you later.
See you in a bit.
I will slowly walk over to my door.
Daenerys walks to the plain oak doors.
You walk to the door. Each of you kind of nod to each other as you open your door and walk through them. And here is where we will take a break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. Asmo, you fall onto a very thick concrete floor as you take your landing. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
Boom. Baby.
15.
15.
Yeah, you manage to catch yourself so you don't you loosen up your legs before you land. You still land a bit on your ass, but you don't take any damage from the fall. As you reacquaint yourself to exactly what happened, you look up the trap door that closed above you. Kind of disappears from view as its shutters flap shut.
Gonna brush myself off. Doors are on walls, idiot! Alright, fuck it.
Most of the time they are, yes.
Oh, I get commentary.
As torchlights begin striking up around you. Commentary. And they listen. as Fithrobar once again kind of burns into existence before you. You stand in this very small, bricked-in room. It's maybe 20 feet by 20 feet. It's not very large at all.
What shape is it?
Very sparse. It's circular. All around
Are
you
there
are
any?
gray,
Is that?
all around you are gray bricks and torches on sconces, kind of hanging in a circle around the wall. Other than that, it's just you and Fithrobar in this room.
So, what's my task? Get out of this room.
Oh no. You will get out of this room when the room is ready for you to leave.
How about that? Do I get to have a say in that with the room at all, or is it am I kind of out of that?
The room and you shall have your conversation shortly. He claps his hands, and kind of materializing out of a puff of smoke in front of you is a mannequin holding a shield and a sword and a big plastered-on, creepy, smiling face with a very robust, pointed nose. Looks very kind of like pixie or elf-like. Its lifeless eyes kind of stare at you on this stringy sort of bobblehead.
Yeah! What the? Okay.
Go ahead. Show me how you use your equipment.
I don't even need to use my equipment against this guy. Asmo just shoves the thing and pushes it down with one hand.
It rocks back a little and then strikes forward, stabbing at you with the sword. It misses, but it clearly tried to strike you as it bounced back, kind of in a wibbly-wobbly way.
Hey! Did he just try and cut my hold? I didn't push it that hard. Now, did it come back at me with even harder than I pushed it?
It seemed to, yeah. It seemed to come back almost consciously.
Okay.
But then it just kind of wobbles and goes back to its ready stance.
You asked how I would take this thing out here? Alright.
It's fine. Asmo pulls out the javelin chain. And Asmo's gonna wrap it around its fucking neck and choke it from behind.
You begin to wrap the javelin chain around its neck. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
And just like with one and just 12.
As you begin to loop the chain around its neck, the blade in the thing's hand strikes up under the chain, pulls the chain away from its neck, and begins to strike at you again.
Wow!
Once again missing, it starts to wobble again. Wobble, 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 until it falls back into a ready stance. So far, I am unimpressed.
Oh, really? I found out that this thing has an is more magical than I assumed it was, and I now know that it will adjust its strategy based on me using an unorthodox style.
Fancy that, a magic dummy in a magic school. Which magic dummy will win? Let's find out.
Hey! Give a second. Hey! Asmo was like, I really want to go this fine. Fine. It just literally pulls out. Asmo pulls out the void blade that he doesn't normally use. He pulls out the cursed blade, and Asmo slashes true with it.
Let's see. Go ahead, roll to hit.
24.
That does in fact hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
5.
As you strike the blade down, it leaves its very dimensional strike sort of trail behind it. You can see the dummy start to kind of crackle with this energy as its springs begin to lock up as it tries to swipe back. Its face staring at you with that big plastered-on smile as the dummy begins to crinkle, frozen in place.
Ah, what a shame. Asmo pulls out the Chimera, pulls out Chimera, and pulls out Stinger.
All right, roll to hit
And
with
Asmo's
advantage.
Asmo's gonna stab right at. Boom, 26.
All right, roll damage.
6 penetrating.
You pull out Chimera as transform it into stingers. Do a little flourish with it as you stab straight into the mannequin's heart. It explodes into a confetti of dust, and you hear a noise as it explodes and disappears. There you go. Now you are using your equipment.
Of course I am. This stuff's really dangerous. Also, every time you use it, you never know what could happen, so...
Of course.
If you can handle a problem with less needed, then do it. Then you don't play all your cards immediately.
No. He claps his hands, and another dummy appears. This one, still with that plastered-on smile face, but this one's kind of bobbing and moving, its legs moving along with it. Now, again. Roll initiative.
Alrighty. Do I have any temp hit points from this morning? I don't remember.
You do.
9.
You do.
I have 10? Thank you.
As he says, now, again, you kind of look, you give him a look for a moment, not realizing that this one is quite as mobile as it dashes towards you with a blade extended. And this one is actually going to be a 24 to hit.
That does hit me.
All right. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from its wooden sword.
Ah! Smacked right across the... Oh!
You're up.
Oh, you son of a bit. Void Blade again. Slash. Void Blade, 14.
14 hits.
4 slashing. DC 12 stun.
Once again, it kind of like... After pulling back from the strike it gave you, you strike it with the Void Blade, and it begins to seize up.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, Asmo, this time, Asmo goes in closer. He pulls out Chimera Fang, and you see Stinger change form as he's running in. And you see in his other hand, he pulls out that, because now he's going to hit... He has 3 attacks, correct? Or 4? I'm trying to remember. I always forget. It's been a while since combat.
You have
3
basic attacks and 1 bonus attack as a bonus action.
Alrighty, so I'm going to stab at with Fang. 20. Oh my god.
Yeah,
sorry.
You use your bonus action to turn Chimera into Fang. So yeah.
Okay, so I got 3 attacks. Yep. I got 3 attacks then. Okay, put Chimera Fang, 26.
That hits.
12 plus 5.
And once again, it explodes.
Asmo spits a little bit of blood.
Seems you're getting warmed up now. He claps his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Poof! 2 of them appear. Again.
Oh, boy. Oh, son of a bitch.
And,
all right, initiative again?
Yep, go ahead.
9 again. Ah! Oh, beans.
Both of them lunge at you.
Shit.
One of them misses. 21 to hit.
If I use my... Yeah, I can't. I can't activate it yet. Okay, yeah, I take the hit.
All right. That's going to be another 3 points of bludgeoning damage as it kind of cracks you above the side as you dodge one that's being thrust at you. You are smacked upside the head by the other one. It's now your move.
Oh, now my move. Okay. Well, first thing he's going to do, he's going to immediately use his bonus action to change form of Chimera into a shell. He turns it into the shell, and now he's going to punch the first one that hit him in the face with a shell. Bong! 23.
23 hits.
And 6.
You smack it in the face. Its nose, its little plastic nose gets dented in as its face just kind of wobbles along with the spring on its neck.
He falls with a flourish of the Void Blade. 12. Ooh, that one.
12 actually just hits.
Son of a bitch. Alrighty,
yeah,
awesome.
These things are essentially, meant to be hit. They don't have very high, AC.
Okay.
And with that, you strike it across. you basically cut it in two, and poof, that one's down.
And he just keeps on going. After the flourish, with the other hand, he continues to spin and pulls out Fang and goes right for the other one. Boom! 16!
In order to turn it into Fang, you would need another...
Oh my god, sorry. He spins it into the shell and punches him in the haymaker face. 19.
19 hits.
Dong! 7.
Once again, you leave a massive indent in its plastine face.
Shit, one's still up.
It tries to strike back, but misses.
Okay.
And it's your move.
Oh, sorry. Ignore those. It's my move now.
Yep.
It misses. Okay, so it's the only one up that's right now.
Yep.
Alrighty, then Asmo is going to just finish her off with the Chimera Fang. 14. Bam. 11 plus
Once
6.
again, it explodes into confetti.
Is it gonna be freaking dummies all day? That was the next creative thing. You're gonna send 3 at me. Ugh.
Not quite. He claps his hands. Poof, poof, poof. 5 appear.
Oh, fuck!
And we cut to Nara.
Perfect. Perfect, Nick. I love you. That's good. Ah, looks down sadly.
Oh, boy.
Asmo has a long day of testing his equipment ahead of him.
Oh, boy.
Nara, you're walking down a stone hallway. Your feet just kind of clacking against the ground. It feels like you've been walking for a few minutes now, but this hallway seems to show no signs of ending.
Dreary, academic. What is it like?
Oddly nostalgic.
Oh. Okay.
You walk down this hallway, just clack, clack, clack. The door behind you, long since, like, as soon as you walked through it and closed it, the door shuttered with that and no longer there after it closed off. So all that's left before you is just this hallway that you've been walking down. It's dark, like real dark, but since your eyes are accustomed to such darkness, it's not particularly an issue. But this definitely feels like you've been walking for longer than any of these buildings had any right being.
So this is part of the test too?
Part of the test too? Part of the test too?
Okay.
Keeps walking, kind of staring at the walls, looking for any kind of indication of something she should be keeping an eye out for, or smelling the air, anything.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
19.
Every now and again, you feel like you hear something kind of skittering around. This like kind of clattery sort of noise. This almost like bone chittery noise. You glance around, but as soon as you look, nothing appears to be there. After a few minutes of this, just traveling, an errant thought kind of pervades through your head. It speaks in your own voice, but it does not come from you. Who are you? It asks.
Oh, this is the game we're playing.
Do we play games?
All the time. They're fun.
We enjoy fun.
Mm-hmm.
Is that who we are?
Well, not all of who we are.
Then who are we?
Nara.
Is a title a person?
Who I decided to be.
Did you decide?
I did.
When did you decide?
When I heard someone else say the name. I said that I liked it, so I made it mine.
So
For
we are
myself.
someone else.
No.
Are we not another's title?
No. I chose it, so it's mine.
Why?
Because I liked it.
Could it belong to another?
Sure.
Then how can it be you?
Because I picked it.
So you are what you choose.
Yep. Been dealing with that a lot lately.
And how is that?
Annoying.
Choices
But
are
not-
hard.
Yeah, no shit. Is my whole test gonna be walking and asking the same question that I just said out loud?
Is this a test?
Yeah. Probably of my patience.
Where are we going?
Fuck if I know.
How do we pass?
Wasn't the school gonna tell me when it's done?
So it decides.
In this instance, yes.
But then how do we choose?
What the fuck? Great question. Well, I was hoping to learn useful things here. But apparently I'm just gonna talk to myself. Which is so fun!
Is it?
That was sarcasm. Even if you're made of magic, you know it was sarcasm.
I do.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So... Gonna teach me anything, or are we just really getting to know each other today?
The voice doesn't seem to respond. You continue walking for a few more minutes. What do we fight for? A voice kind of perforates your head. Again, it's your voice. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check with or a wisdom save with advantage,
Okay.
as you are, in fact, an elf.
10.
You're not sure this time whether this voice came from you, or if it was whatever that other force was. What is it that you fight for? The thought kind of permeates through your head.
Still sort of figuring that out, but I have my people now. So that...
Another thought. What about your old people?
What about him?
What made them your people? What makes these people your people? What makes anyone your people?
Well, the ones I had before decided for me. and I decided for these ones.
But were you not sent to them?
I was. That's how it started. I could have gone back already if I had wanted to.
But you haven't been called back.
Not yet.
Because you have a job.
Currently.
You've enjoyed jobs before.
Oh, well, yeah.
So how is this different?
Well, I'm choosing to stay. I could have been done a long time ago.
But the job's not done.
Right? Because I've chosen for it not to be. How do you even know about the job in the first place?
He's now paying very close attention to where this voice is coming from.
Again, after that wisdom save, you think this is all coming from you now. Or you're not sure. And the fact that it knew about the job.
Stops in the hallway and sits.
You sit back against a wall. Your shadow just sort of bristles beneath you. Whisper seems to try to comfort you.
I'm fine.
She pats her shadow.
Whisper will never leave us.
Is this a loneliness thing?
Felt it a lot.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me.
Maybe that's who we are. Like that
A person
giant
is
said.
not just one thing.
Like that weird dream said. These people that we're with, they won't last nearly as long as we will.
Uh-huh. You're really good at digging around in my brain. It's really annoying. Right. What's something useful that bothers me?
Gonna answer your own question?
Well, you seem to be so good at asking them. I figured you'd know better than anyone.
No, that was me, the DM, asking if you were gonna answer your own question.
Nope.
Then I'll let you ruminate on it.
So, Self, since we're here stuck with each other, if we were to be called back from the job and we wanted to say no, how could we stop ourselves from having to go back?
You hear that question echo in your head.
He's literally the god of death. And has killed you more than once. So how are you going to stop him? We don't even know the kind of magic it would take.
One name flashes into your head. Kage Roshi.
Right. The father.
Is he?
I don't know. But is he even strong enough to even do anything about it?
He seemed to think so.
Well, yeah. He's just angry.
Are we angry?
Yes.
What should we do about it?
Figure out how to be able to fight back.
Where does our power come from?
I don't know. Just been always able to do it. So
As you ponder on that, you glance directly to your left, and there's a big door sitting there.
well,
Dust her hands.
that was fun.
2 walks toward the door.
We should do that again.
Okay. Boring.
And you head through the door. Wolfgang, as you walk through your door, you're walking through a nice, like you feel like you're walking in through like a very nice living quarters, kind of a loungy area. It smells thick with the air is kind of like thick with this kind of old pipe tobacco smell. Old barrel-aged liquors, long since drunk. You hear the crackling of a fireplace as you come around this lounge. You see Fithrobar sitting in a chair, just a nice large plush leather chair.
Ah, so you have made it.
Hello again.
Welcome. Have a seat. Brandy, whiskey, anything?
Whiskey, sign. He'll take a seat.
He twirls his hand as the chair kind of like tucks itself under you, and then directly beside you, a table kind of pulls up, and a glass of whiskey swirls itself into existence.
Take a sniff of it.
Smells very well aged, fine. Has a very pleasant odor, very pleasant perfume about it.
Take a drink.
It's very peaty, like it came from like a barrel that is charred, but it has a very fine oaky back end that's not necessarily refreshing, but definitely a full-bodied whiskey.
Very nice.
The only way they age them on the fire plains.
So is this my next lesson? A whiskey tasting?
Something tells me you don't need much instruction on that.
That I don't.
What I'm looking for is to figure out exactly what it is that bars you from your powers. You have a body that rejects them.
Rejects my powers.
What? To get to the bottom, I have to ask, what is your relationship with death? Must have been rocky from a young age.
Certainly no stranger to it. Most of my family died young. My mother and my father both died at relatively young ages.
Hunting monsters.
Aye. Seems to be the, he raises up his hands and he does the quotation marks. The family curse.
A curse that you must have rejected.
A curse that I want to break.
Did your father have abilities like yours?
He didn't, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, not quite. I mean, he had some light within him, but nowhere near the proficiency that you've shown.
A little, but... Oh, not
Bye
you.
for now.
Go away! Archie, get the fuck out of here.
Thank you, Archie. You're not needed.
He had a little. Seems that the,
Jughead.
Seems the potency of the blood varies from family member to family member. I suppose I just got, not sure if lucky is the right word.
There must
My
have been
powers are...
some extenuating event in your childhood. Something that sprung it.
I remember I was told that I went through a ritual to sort of bind my powers, prevent them from overflowing.
Do you remember the event that led before it? Or were you too young?
Too young. Too much for me to remember at that point in my life.
The room kind of swirls around you a bit. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception is going to be another soft 20.
You realize now that this lounge that you're sitting
Oh, nice.
this lounge that you're sitting in, it's nearly pitch for pitch identical to the sitting room in your home.
Huh. Funny. This place looks familiar.
Does it?
A few details are off. Some of the hangings that you've left in the room, like pictures and things like that, they're somewhat unfamiliar, but they still bear your family's crest.
This is a room in my home.
If this is your home, would you care to give me a tour?
He sort of the corner of the corner of his mouth just sort of quirks up a bit. Why not?
Lead the way.
I'll head him out the door of this particular room. And I'll sort of lead him out into a hallway that looks like it'd be wide enough for two people to stand side by side in.
This home, it belonged to your family.
I don't quite remember who built it or had it built, but far as I know, it's been in my family for generations. It was only abandoned for a short time when I met my wife. We moved to Amber Glade to raise our child.
Quick correction. It was abandoned when you were young.
Oh, it was abandoned when I was young.
For a very specific reason.
I was just a youngster when we left.
These rooms in this hallway. Are they also familiar?
You find yourself standing outside of the room that what was once your grandfather's study, but has now become yours.
Yes. I believe this belonged to my grandfather. He used it as a sort of study.
As you open the door to the study, there, slumped against the wall, bleeding in a very gruesome fashion, you see the body of your grandfather.
Is this in full view? Like, is his form isn't shadowed or anything?
His form is not shadowed. This is almost as if, like, being awoken from a very distant memory. You see the room covered in blood. His eyes carved from his skull with a single slash. Tears of blood raining down his face, covering his white suit.
Grandpa?
You feel something tugging within you.
Ugh.
So, this was the event.
My head.
Your eyes begin to flicker with radiant flame.
Interesting.
I remember the assassin, Crowley. He had my grandfather assassinated.
In such a shock for such a young boy. Must have been a very violent awakening.
He sort of reaches up and he cups one of his eyes with his palm. He sort of lurches forward.
As you cup your eye with your palm, the shadow of your palm, it almost looks like you're looking at your palm in broad daylight at times when your eyes start to flicker.
I'm losing control.
What does it feel like?
Light. Burning. I feel like I'm on fire.
Fithrobar puts a hand on your shoulder. His hand actually seems to sizzle. He almost lurches it away.
Calm. Calm.
Go ahead and make a wisdom check.
Wisdom check.
Wisdom check.
Here I go. 16.
Fithrobar is attempting to basically help you sleep. It is up to you whether or not you accept his help.
I know I'm reeling at the moment, but would I know anything about like Afridi in general? just their dispositions.
Go ahead
In
and give
comparison
me
to-
you can go ahead and give me an insight check to try to read this one in particular.
Okay, that's a 14.
From all accounts so far, there's nothing to indicate that Fithrobar means you any harm. So far, he feels like he has been genuine. He's clearly been at this station for a very long time.
I'll relax and let him do whatever he's doing to me.
You begin to feel that fiery burn that's kind of echoing through your body begin to slowly dissipate as the events start to clear in your mind. They begin to... They allow you to reflect as you begin to kind of drift off.
Rest. Let your mind be at ease. And ponder on the nature of your abilities.
Wolfgang's eyes sort of roll back into his skull and his eyelids slowly begin to close.
And as you drift off, your eyes flicker with a bit of light. And in that light, you see your son sleeping peacefully.
Elliot.
You reach out to him. You can feel your arms kind of wrap around him as you hug your toddler son close to you. Both of you kind of curling into a fetal position, and you drift. Denier.
Yes.
As you walk through the plain oaken door, you find yourself in a library. Nearly unpopulated. These books are towering above you in shelves too numerous to count. As the door closes behind you, you turn back. There isn't even a wall there. It's just another stretch expanse of books.
Wow. He's just gonna start walking through the shelves, looking at all the books, wondering just how many thousands of years of knowledge are all right here, just waiting to be read.
As you walk out of the aisle of books that you are in, the thousands upon thousands of years, the countless characters and words in these books, your brain almost begins to swim as you step into like the main thoroughfare of this library. You see tables scattered about, but more than that, you see this expanse before you. It's almost as though it were if they had put mirrors the size of buildings besides columns and columns of rows of books and another mirror on the other side, it almost seems to stretch into infinity, this library. It makes your head spin with how vast this collection of tomes and scrolls and books is. You can't help but think that Lex would pass out with such a variety set before him, that he might even go insane just staring at this wealth of knowledge.
Denier feels a little bit that way as well, but he gives a little smile as he looks around. I feel I could stay here for 1,000 lifetimes and not even make a drop in the bucket of everything that's here.
To confuse matters, you see no other living soul wandering this library. at the center of this library, as you're kind of walking around and wandering and glancing, there's a spiral staircase that leads you up to other stories in order for you to reach these shelves that are even higher up. And this spiral staircase even seems to travel on for as far as your eye can see in this, what you now realize to be very large circular space. The books that you saw standing row to row, column by column, appear to be arranged in a spiral.
Is there the books that I'm seeing, are they on any particular topics, or are they just random and scattered?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
That's an 11.
As far as you can tell, they're organized, but in what manner is hard for you to decipher, as you see you see books of many different languages kind of lumped together. As far as you can tell, the section you are at seems to deal a lot with words of power and particular runes of significance.
I'm curious. He speaks out loud as he walks through the shelves. If this is meant to give me a moment to study, or if this is a lesson to show me that despite everything that I want to learn, I can only learn so much.
You
pick
hear
and choose
from
my battles.
you hear from the balcony above you. Somebody else here?
Hello. Denier leans out and looks up.
You hear the pattering of feet above you, and looking out over the balcony is a fairly young elven boy. Seems to wear a purple robe open. He's dressed very kind of like shabbily. A shirt that he's wearing under the robe seems kind of like stained with various liquids and foods. He wears kind of loose fit hempen pants as he looks over. How'd you get in here?
I was in the cafeteria and I saw a door, and I just wandered in.
Fascinating.
Apparently, the school thought my best place was here. At least of the options I was given.
Huh. What are you studying?
A great many things. As of late, I've been studying abjuration. I've also been studying the magic of dreams.
That's a pretty good one.
I like to think so. Been making a fair bit of progress in the dreams territory.
How so?
Well, I've been able to control the magics of dreams a little bit more. I've even been able to make a couple new spells that I haven't seen before.
You made some spells yourself?
Hmm?
Hold on. You hear his feet patter again as he works his way over to the spiral staircase, hops up on the banister and slides his way down, kind of hopping off at your level. He stands about a head shorter than you. His kind of wild, sort of like short cut, but fairly spiky blonde hair. He looks platinum blonde hair. He kind of looks up to you, almost white hair. So, tell me more about these dream magics you created.
Well, you know how typically you can only dream whenever you're asleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's two aspects of it.
Well,
the dream.
I mean, those that can sleep anyway.
Yes, absolutely. There are two aspects to dreams, a dream and a nightmare. And from what I'm experimenting with, it's possible to be able to induce a dream or a nightmare onto those that are awake. And I've been tinkering and working with this in my ways of study. and I've been able to figure out a way to induce a nightmare on a waking person. That, of course, means you harm in a way to defend yourself.
Not many around these places would study such a thing. I mean, nobody in the city sleeps, so.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed. Trances and all that.
Well, you'll have a hard time experimenting here. Unless dreams can cross through different planes.
That's one thing that I was actually thinking about testing while I've been here. I believe the Fae can dream, so I might, be able to work with them. I've got a good rapport with the Fae.
Do you speak Sylvan?
No, but I'm working on it.
I recommend checking out the Sylvan Words of Power. If you're just crossing by there, could help you pick up a few things. And may as well look at Dwarven Runes of Power, too. You can get some fun stuff in there. They deal a lot with sleep. I don't know why. Dwarves are sleepy, I guess.
Well, they do work a whole lot, so I expect if they work so much, they would need a way to put themselves to sleep.
Yeah. Either that or, well, I had a theory it's to get rid of hangovers, but...
Yeah. Sleep through it. That would make sense.
Well.
Denier offers a hand. Name's Denier, by the way. I don't know. The archives might call me Somnium Vagus here.
Kind of cocks an eyebrow at you.
I don't know if that means anything.
All of this means something. Well, you have a good day, Denier. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Denier takes note that whoever this is did not introduce themselves as he wanders towards the Sylvan Words of Power.
As you turn your back to this person, you contemplate whether you should ask his name, but as you turn back, he's not there.
Denier expects that there's more to this person than meets the eye. Maybe they're just a student that's very quick, or maybe construct of the school, or probably something that he doesn't realize, but he wanders over towards the runes that he was pointed out.
You find the tomes that he was referencing, the Dwarvish Runes of Power and the Sylvan Words of Power. Of course, they're both written in their respective language, but they should be a good litmus test for helping you learn them.
True. I do have comprehend languages, and it is a ritual spell, so as long as I've got time. I think Denier's gonna take a few of those books, bring them over if there's a nearby table, and just settle down for a little bit. Of course, he sets Eska onto the table, gives him a pat on the top of the head.
Eska very curiously looks around the room. You read for what feels like a few hours. And as you kind of like sit up and yawn for a moment, you notice there's a big red door sitting in front of you.
He closes up the books, looks up at the door, makes sure to put everything back where he found it. Didn't want to be rude to his hosts. Puts the books back where they were. He's going to pick up Eska. Looks like our time here is done. And he wanders over towards the red door.
You open the red door, and it seems to open into the common room of what seems to be a dormitory. A nice sitting space. And you see one of the doors in this space, one of the 4 doors in the 4 corners of this room is cracked. You hear some shuffling on the inside of it.
Denier wanders over and he gives a knock on the door.
You knock on the door, it kind of creaks open a little bit. Shifting in the bed, you see Wolfgang laying there in the fetal position, just dozing, sleeping. The window in the room depicts night overlooking the garment district, you see a large illusory koi fish kind of swim around in the distance. Another door creaks open, and Nara, you walk into the common room.
Hello there.
You find yourself standing in this dormitory as well, Nara.
Well, that was dumb.
You almost reflectively ask yourself, was it?
Done. We're done. No more talking from you for now. Stop.
You okay?
From another wall, Asmo just kind of slumps in. His body's slightly bruised. He's got like throughout this endeavor, you ended up fighting 10 of these things at once, and you feel like one of your teeth is actually loose right now. You're kind of lumpy and bruised, but you beat the shit out of all of them.
I passed the test!
I'm proud of you. Good job, Asmo.
Junior, I don't know if I like your school.
Well, it's not technically my school. It's, Arcanos' school. I'm sure that whatever you went through, there was a reason for it.
I guess.
What'd you do?
Just ask me questions about myself. That was it. Just, who are you? How do you feel about your life? What is, whatever. I'd be more surprised if they asked me what I had for breakfast.
So, in other words, it was making you look inside yourself and ask you the real questions. Who are you and what do you want to become?
But I've had to deal with those questions for like weeks now. Not like I'm not thinking about them constantly. Didn't really feel like much of a test, more of like, it's another day.
Well, school isn't always tests.
Mm.
School is lessons to help you grow as a person. I can only imagine what happened to Wolfgang.
Yeah, they probably self-introspectioned him to death.
What a very oddly timed sound effect from the background there.
That was a weird frog.
I mean, he's in bed in the fetal position right now, so whatever they did to him must have been a doozy.
Again, he's in the fetal position, but it looks like he's sleeping fairly comfortably.
Ah, I got you.
Nara goes over to Asmo and starts tending to his poofiness. And cuts and whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, they weren't great tests, so.
And by the way, Asmo, you lost about 20 points of hit points throughout that entire
I was
time.
curious, actually. I really was curious.
I ran the averages.
Wait, what did you do, Denier?
I found what I think is the school's library. Imagine for a moment an infinite expanse of books just as high as you can see, as far as you can see, heading out to pretty much infinity. Met a very nice young elf there. Gave me a couple really good suggestions on where to go. Seemed almost surprised that somebody had gotten there. Did not introduce themselves, though. even though I did. No one knows. Part of me thinks there's something to that. Maybe I'm just thinking too hard.
I mean, it's all magic stuff here.
She shrugs real big.
Yeah.
Hard to say what anything is.
Yeah. Probably just a librarian or something. Or somebody way too into their studies.
Well, hopefully their books don't suck as bad as the one I read.
Oh, which one did you read?
The one I was... Haven't you seen me reading it? I've been reading it forever.
Yeah, but I didn't want to bother you about it until you were done.
Oh. It was spectral reliquaries? Yeah. Stuff about souls and stuff.
I've been meaning to ask you about something while Nara's patching up Asmo. You've made comments that have kind of perked my interest as of late.
Uh-huh.
Talking about how after we die, that's it, it's over. And you've also made comments about how the soul can get pulled out of your body and put back into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in theory, and this is strictly in theory, is there any way that it would be possible to say, make another body so that if you die, your soul can just go to that body in a safe place instead?
I mean, Solomon always sent me to go find my body. I never had a different body to go to. So, maybe?
Above game, Nick, did I read anything about that in the book?
You can give me a Arcana check with advantage due to the fact that this is related.
That'd be a 15.
It's possible. I mean, people that have played with the idea of lichdom have thought about such means. There are spells out there that could do fairly similar things to what he's describing.
Yeah, I mean, guess based on what I read, that's possible. I just haven't tried it out.
Junior gives a couple nods. Yeah, it's just... I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Are you tired of being a cat?
No, just, with the fact that we're pretty much getting ready for a war and getting ready to go into, a fight we might not come back from.
Uh-huh.
I always like to, kind of try to think ahead a little bit. Plus, I haven't forgotten what Solomon said to me the first time we met.
What?
He wants my bones. And he wants Asmo's skin.
Oh, I was there for that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
there
right.
for that. That's the first time I remember you. You were covered in oil and set alight. And you ripped your shirt off. Anyway, yes.
I thought I might die. I was going for dramatics.
It worked.
Thank you.
That gives me a lot to think about. A whole lot to think
I mean,
about.
yes. So are you going to try and make a backup body for yourself?
Well, I was wondering if that level of magic was even possible, And I figured that since there's very few who can... There's very few in the speciality whenever it comes to, Solomon. And I can only imagine what you've learned from him and experienced and been put through by him.
1,000-mile stare.
Yeah, there's a lot.
If there was anybody to ask, I figured it'd be you.
I'd have to take some time to think on it, but if I could get in that library and research a little more, maybe I'd have a little better luck guiding you on it.
Maybe.
Asmo and Denier begin to feel the day wearing on them. Asmo now all bandaged up.
Thank you, Nara.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't believe one of those things. I swear they were piloted by somebody. It couldn't have been
Wait.
fake.
What do you mean piloted by?
I'll explain it later. I had to fight a bunch of dummies.
They weren't sentient beings? And they did this much damage?
Asmo, you went
There
through
were a lot of them.
You went through after the cutaway. You went through 6 more rounds of that, each of them increasing in difficulty and number.
Oh God, yeah.
Nara,
Mm.
Danier's slowly running a single copper coin over his fingers. You'd be surprised what an animated object is able to do to somebody.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
You did very good. And she gently pats his face.
And as each of you begin to settle down for the evening, the doors to your dorm are unlocked. Each room has a little desk study space with a lamp, something that you have to activate via rune by. Very nice beds sitting beneath a window that each overlook a different district. Wolfgang's overlooks the garment district. Asmo's overlooks the synthesis district. Nara's overlooks the alchemy district, and Danier's overlooks the statue in the fountain area. Nara, you find a small plate of pastries sitting by your bed, at a table by your bed, with a little note that says, "Welcome to the Academy." Asmo, by your bedside table, you have a series of treats and a bag of ice.
Oh, yay.
With a similar note. And in Danier's room, sitting on the bed, are the 2 books you put back. Napping on top of the books, Eska lays there. And a handwritten note that says, "You forgot these." And as you ponder and reflect on your first day of school, here's where we will end today's session.